Hey, Mountain Lakes Church, it's Pastor John here. Again, I hope everyone is doing really well today. Yeah, on Monday, I spoke about spending time reading the truth of God, and something that we all really desperately need during this time of crisis. And it was borne out to me this morning because I read Psalm 35, and it was a huge blessing to me, and I want to share that with you. And David speaks about the huge trials that he was facing, just like we sense we're facing right now. And those trials included opposition from people. It included some people who had repaid him evil for the good that he had done to them. And they slandered him and they mocked him. It was a whole bunch of really, really personal things. And he also reflects on another thing, that he was irritated that his prayers to God seemed to go unanswered. And I tell you, many of us, I think, have felt like that before. But I want you to listen to this, because in the middle of this psalm, where David has now spent some time with the Lord, his heart turns and he rejoices because he's reminded of who the Lord actually is and what he's going to do. And this is what he says in verse 10, "Who is like you, Lord? You are the one who rescued the poor from those too strong for them, the poor and needy from those who rob them." Lord, you are our rescuer, you are our salvation, and we all feel poor right now because we've lost our independence, we've lost our power, right, in many ways. And it is the Lord who can rescue us in this time and through this time. But two things really struck me as I read this psalm. One was David's complete openness and transparency before the Lord. He told the Lord exactly how he felt. And I think this is what God wants. He doesn't want pretty little prayers that we recite to him. He wants us to unload our hearts, our troubles, our anxieties before him. He actually says, bring your anxieties, cast your anxieties before me because I care for you. In 1 Peter 5 verse 7. He wants you to unfold your heart before him today. He's not surprised by anything that you're going through or anything that you feel about it. He wants you to be honest. The second thing that I noticed is that David had a bunch of people around him, actually. He did have God, but he also had some people around him. He says in verse 27, "May those who delight in my vindication shout for joy and gladness. May they always say, the Lord be exalted, who delights in the well-being of his servant." And so there were people that David had with him, around him in the middle of his trials, who were there, who were empathizing with him. And he knew that when things got better, they would also rejoice with him in that time of celebration. So God gives us people to connect with, and he wants us to connect with people who will mourn with us, who will weep with us, who will empathize with us, and also people who will rejoice with us when things go right. And he wants you to engage with him and with people today. And so I want you to do two things today. One, if you are having a hard time, please go before the Lord and tell him he cares for you. And there's no telling the message that's going to come to your heart and soul just by spending that time in the presence of God. The second thing is, reach out to somebody. Reach out to a person that you love, or a group leader, or even a staff member here at the church. Reach out to someone that you love. And so what I have done is I sent out an email to my group leaders yesterday, offering them the program called Zoom, which is a great platform to connect online where you can see each other. And some of our groups have already done this. They meet by Zoom online. It's a wonderful thing. So people are ready to connect with you. If you're part of a group, please respond to any invitation, because we need each other. If you're not part of a group and you're listening to this podcast and you want to connect with somebody, all right, and you feel like you need somebody to be with, to pray with at this time, you just let us know, okay? So go to our website, mountainlakeschurch.org, or look us up on Facebook. Whichever way, just try to connect with us, and we'll do our best to get you connected with other people through this time. God wants to hear from you, and so do we. God bless. Have an awesome day. We'll be back real soon.